Good evening, folks. Welcome to another episode of OmenG's Stupid Scary Stories. I was going through a playlist of all the different musics that I've used in the past for my stupid scary stories, or stupid stories, whatever you want to call them. Stories, right? That's what they are. Anyway. And I came across one that I used to have so much fun telling stories to. Excuse me. A lot of times, I'll just basically go off the music, and the music will kind of like take me wherever it decides to take me. You know what I'm saying? So, I tonight don't have a premise for this video. So, I'm just going to wing this one completely, because I was like half sleeping a few minutes ago. I was tired. I was doing some insulating today and shit, and you know, it's just kind of exhausted and stuff. So I was laying down, and I was just like, I'm not ready to go to bed right now. It's only 10:30. It's too early to go to bed. So I decided I'll come down here and hop in my studio and record a stupid story. So without further ado, let's begin. Set the mood. What color light do we want? We want green or red, blue, maybe indigo? That's too bright. Oh, no. Yeah. Maybe we'll have like a strobing effect. The light's changing in the background. Let's go with red. Fuck it. Red is always good. Why not? Anyway, let's see here. What can I tell a story about tonight? I'm really drawing a blank here, but let's just dive right in, shall we? You know, like I said, I was putting in insulation earlier today, laying down, taking a nap. Or maybe I didn't take a nap. I probably did, possibly, you know. I woke up and I decided to come down here. But before I got here, a lot transpired, you know. A lot of shit happened before I got here. It's like some craziness that went down. I'm going to tell you about it, right? So check this out. Got up, walked down the stairs, headed to the refrigerator because I was kind of parched, thirsty. I wanted something to drink. So, you know, I went, opened up the refrigerator, and I found that the kids had drank all my Country Peach Passion iced tea. Not happy about that because, you know, now I got to brew a whole nother fucking gallon of iced tea. There's no quick way to do that. There's no quick way to do that, you know, if you want it done right. Anyway, so I'm kind of disappointed and shit. Sit down on the couch for a hot second. They're playing video games. I think it's Dead by Daylight. I'm just sitting here watching this shit. Ask my oldest son, like, well, not my oldest, but the oldest one who lives here. I say, hey, Jaden, what is this game? Like, what is the purpose of this game? It's like, hey, you know, you've got survivors and you've got a killer, and like the killer goes around, like kills us, and we have to survive and like get out. I was like, oh, it's interesting. Sat there watching it for a little while, kind of got dozed off again. Next thing I know, I awakened in this weird scenery. It's like a old abandoned hospital, maybe an asylum. You know, something medical or clinical. It had that look, you know, white walls and tiles that you're used to seeing in hospitals and clinical buildings and shit like that. You know, rooms, and desks, stuff like a nurse's station. You know, but it's abandoned and it's in bad shape. Bad shape. You know, lights are flickering and shit. There's dust, rats running around. Nobody to be seen either, right? I hear a scream in the distance. Ah! 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 So I'm like, oh shit, what's going on? I look side to side, no kids around. So I'm thinking to myself automatically, you must have fallen asleep when you're dreaming, Pinch yourself. See, I pinched myself. And I actually felt it. So I'm like, oh shit, maybe I'm not sleeping. Maybe I'm somehow transported into a dimension of Dead by Daylight. Don't sue me. Just talking about the game from what I've seen. I've never really sat down and watched it for very long, Like I said, I dozed off. But I do remember the scene that they were in. It was, this hospital place. Scream in the distance. So anyway, right? As I realized that I'm not really dreaming, or could be dreaming, but really real kind of dream, I'm like, might as well run with it, right? I mean, if it's a dream, you'll wake up before anything really bad happens. And if it's not a dream, well, then you're fucked. So either way you look at it, you might as well just figure out what the fuck's going on. Alright, so, I'm walking through the halls, hear rats squeaking and scurrying about and shit, and fucking scream comes up again. Now it sounds like whoever's screaming is moving away from me as they're screaming. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe they're being dragged away or some shit. So I start to approach the direction from which I hear the scream coming from cautiously. I don't have any weapons of any sort on my person, so I don't want to get attacked by the variety of things that I've seen in this game that are killers. There's a guy with an axe, and some witch with like hand and goes on the ground and shit, and another one that looks like the thing from The Ring and all this. Just killers. Just doesn't matter what kind of killer. Their purpose is to kill. And for whatever strange ass reason in this game, they don't give you any guns or anything like that to like defend yourself, which is stupid, Because, let it be me, I'd find a gun, a baseball bat, something. Anyway, it's not the point. The point is, right, I'm going towards the direction of the screaming that I hear, and come to a set of double doors, the kind that swing back and forth and shit. So I push them open slowly, right? I don't want to make too much noise and draw any attention to myself, and I'm in no real position to help anybody else. Like I said, I don't have any weapons. Push the doors open real slow. I kind of peek in. It's dark, light flickering and shit. I see sort of like the shape of like a person hunched over. Would look like another person. So I hear the screaming. And, now it's kind of blood curdling. Almost sounds like the person is choking or gurgling on some type of liquid. I'm going to assume it's blood, right? Because killers. They kill, and blood is usually involved in the killing of a person. So that's what I'm thinking. Or maybe she's being choked to death. I don't know. I can't see very well. Flashes, shapes, things, right? So I walk over slowly, very slow, closer and closer to the direction of which I see these shapes, right? I'm feeling around in my pockets. For what, I don't know, but something just said, feel around in your pockets. A little voice in my head. Sort of like if Jiminy Cricket was on my shoulder telling me to do things. A little voice in my head. Not a crazy voice, not like, oh, I'll go murder people. Just a little voice. Check pockets. Check my pockets. Oh, shit. It's a flashlight. A little, LED flashlight. Turn it on. Flash it in the direction of two shapes. I see this hulking beast of a person. Mask on his face. Or her face. Could have been big chick. Female. Sorry. Could have been big female, standing over this smaller female. Big knife. Right hand. Choking. Person. They look up at me. Through the mask. See these eyes. It had a stare in them. Froze me to my soul. It's petrified. Scared for a hot second. I turned the light off. Turned around. Ran. Hauled ass. I heard one last scream. With the sound of like somebody choking on blood and shit. I heard something hit the ground. which I assume was probably the body of the person that was being choked and almost stabbed, by the hulking, maybe man or woman that was there. I didn't really look back. I ran as far as I could in the opposite direction. Came to a wall. There's a hallway, right? Going either way, left or right. At the end of each hallway was another set of double doors. I had to make a decision. I turned back. I could hear steps methodically approaching my direction, but not running. It was almost as if they knew I had nowhere to go. I didn't know where I was going. Could hardly see. Remember I told you the lights were flickering at best. And I wasn't trying to turn the flashlight on just yet because I wasn't sure what was going on. So, I decided I'll take the right path and go towards the right. Start running. Stairs. Hear the steps. They stopped. Which I'm assuming, at the same place that I stopped before I decided to go left or right. I've gotten to the double doors to the end of this hallway that's on the right hand side, right? And, go through them. It's a flight of stairs going up and down. It's like a hallway, So I'm trying to think to myself, up or down? Now, I have no idea what floor of this building that I'm in, I don't even know what building I'm in. I don't know if going up is going to bring me up higher or up out of a basement. Is going down going to bring me to a basement, or is it going to bring me down from a roof? I didn't know. I was disoriented. So I decided to do what any normal person would do in a dark building, and that's head up, because I figure just up seemed like the best thing to do, Fuck down, up. So up, I went, and that's what I did. Up the stairs, ran, got to the next level, flashing my flashlight around. I saw the number 2, so I'm like, okay, good. I was on the first floor, now I'm on the second floor. Stairs kept going up. Don't know how far. I wasn't trying to go all the way to the top because, you don't want to be trapped at the top of a building that you have no idea about, right? I mean, that just doesn't seem like a very smart thing to do. So what I did do was go into the second floor. I was walking around. Shit. Ran into another survivor, like myself. I said, hey, listen, check this shit out. There's some crazy, big, hulking man or woman, mask on, so I can't tell you if it's a man or woman, knife, just killed some lady downstairs. They're following me, potentially. I don't know if they came up the stairs. I didn't hear them because I wasn't listening. I was just, running the shit. The person's just looking at me like I'm fucking retarded. I'm like, you do understand that there's someone here that's probably trying to kill us all, right? I fell asleep watching my son play a game, so I'm assuming I'm in this game. Like, yeah, okay, whatever, buddy. Listen, I don't know about you, but there's got to be a way out of here. Well, that would probably be true. But what about the person that just killed the person that I just told you about that got killed? Like, aren't you in some way worried about that person that's probably going to kill us both if they catch us? Like, I just told you that they're potentially following me. Yes, I heard what you said. Okay? Now, here's what we're going to do, right? I have a stick. Smack him with the stick. We could jump this person that you saw and probably beat him down. There's 2 of us, right? I'm like, yeah, that seems reasonable. They have a knife. Like, you hit them with the stick and it doesn't do anything, and they stab us. Like, we're bleeding and guts, painful. Not really looking forward to being stabbed or choked, because that's what he did. He choked her, then stabbed her. I think I left. I probably could have thrown something at it to stop it from. But you know, I was worried. Just like I told you, I don't know where I am or how I got here. Yeah, that's funny. I don't know how I got here either. Oh, okay, well that makes two of us. Have you seen anything? Anybody else? No. No, maybe we should look for others. Yeah, that would be a good idea. You know, strength, numbers, you know. Maybe we could overpower this person together. Kill him. Or her. It. So, you know, we set off, walking around, looking for different things, you know, trying to see if we could find maybe a weapon, bat, scalpel, even, hydrochloric acid, something, anything we could use, you know, walking around, which seemed like forever, but it probably was only like a couple of minutes because, you know, the place wasn't huge. It was big enough that it took some time to traverse around it, but not so much so that it didn't end. Anyway, we got to the end of the hallway. It's like a big circular but square, so it goes around like this, and then, you know, the hallways and steps go up. So we went up to the third floor. You just kept going up these steps, right? You know, got to a room, looked like an operating room. You know, there's a table, lights over it and shit. And, like, blood was on the floor and on the table. And, you know, there's a bucket. We look into the bucket, right? In the bucket looked like human intestines. I only say human intestines because this seemed like it was a hospital for people, not like an animal hospital. So I'm going to assume the intestines that I saw in the bucket were probably human intestines, right? You know, just for the sake of argument. For the sake of argument, let's just say they're human intestines. So the human intestines are in this bucket. You know, we both throw up. It's gross, nasty. You know what I'm saying? It smelled like shit and other stuff. Anyway, so like, you know, walking around, you know, frightened, scared as shit. I was scared. I'm pretty sure the person that was with me was scared. So when we heard like a bang at the end of the hall, now we're on like the third or fourth floor. I think it's the fourth floor now, right? At this point, you know, you hear bang poof, coming from like where we came from. We hear like somebody, and I recognized that those weren't the same footsteps that I heard from the person that was killing people. You know, their footsteps were heavier, more deliberate, methodical. These were like panicked, frantic, hurried. So we duck into this room. See a little person go running past us. And when I say little person, I mean really a little person. Like, you know, they were little. Like, midget? If that's... Can we still say that? Are we allowed to say that? Or is it something else now? Because I don't want to say anything that's going to offend anybody. But it was a little person, you know, shorter than me by like a lot. A whole lot. Probably by like, you know, 3 or 4 feet. And I'm only 5'9". So they were really small. Like almost... They were just small. Jeez. They weren't a kid. They were an adult. Small, tiny adult. But not like a elf or dwarf creature. Like a person. Miniature. Mini person. That's what they were. That's what I'm going to call you. This person. Miniature person. So the miniature person was running, you know, runs by us. You know, we dash out into the hallway. Like, hey, come here. We're on your side. Like, oh my god. Yeah, there's a fucking maniac roaming the hallways, killing people. I was like, yeah, I know. I witnessed the carnage. He killed some lady, or she, or it. I'm not sure if it's a man or a woman. You know, thing's got a mask on. Could be either, or, you know. But, like, where did you, like, do you know how you got here? By any chance? Like, is there a way out? I mean, I figure if we keep looking for the exit somewhere, there has to be one, right? Right. So now we've got the miniature person with us. It's me and the guy and the miniature person. So, you know, we put our heads together. Not literally, but, you know, thought-wise. We put our heads together. We're, like, coming up with these different ideas and shit. It's when I hear the... I say, oh, shh. We duck down. We get away from the door. table next to the bucket of guts and shit. And it's like really nasty smell. But we're quiet. Shh, shh. You hear him walking by. Or her. Go past the door, you see the shadow as the light flickers. All of a sudden, the miniature person's cell phone goes off. Like, oh shit. Like, in my haste to shush him, I knock the pail of guts onto myself. It's gross. It's all over me now. Which would turn out to save my life. Immediately, I hear the methodical footsteps stop. I'm like, oh shit. You know, the miniature person stopped his phone from ringing. The other guy's off in the corner. He's like shitting bricks. It was scary, you know. It was tense moments. We knew that whoever or whatever this was heard, you know, the damn phone go off. It was quiet as shit until the phone went off. So, you know, sitting there waiting, I decide, you know what? I'm covered in guts and blood and shit. I'm just gonna close my eyes and lay here like I'm dead. You know, left my mouth open like. That's when I hear the door swing open. So violently that it slammed up against the wall. The little miniature person lets out a scream. Ah! That's when I heard the squelch, stabs, stab, squelch, squelch. Blood squirting, hitting the ground. I saw the little person, miniature, get picked up in the air, being held midair. His little legs were swinging back and forth. Then I saw the big man or woman, whatever it is, reach up with the other hand, put its hand into the little guy's chest, ripped out his heart, started eating it, still while holding, you know, the little guy in the air. You know, eats the heart, devours it, the whole thing. Looks at the little guy, rips his head off, just with ease, like he was twisting a bottle top off of a bottle. Head pops off, blood's squirting from the dam. Well, not really squirting that much now because there's no heart to pump it, so it kind of just oozed out, right? And I see him look at the head and the body, and he takes the head and like shoves it into the hole that his hand left from where the heart was. Now me, I'm laying there trying to be as quiet as possible. You know, what I just saw freaked me out. I'm not gonna lie. I wanted to scream, but I made no noise. Cause I'm like, I don't want that to happen to me. I don't want that to happen to me. That shit was terrible. It looked painful. So when the guy in the corner kicks something over, I don't know what it was. I just heard noise. It sounded like metal on metal. Clang, 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 clang. The big thing swings over, tosses the body with the head in it against the wall. It slides down, blood's everywhere. I hear the steps. I can hear the guy in the corner praying. Please, God, don't. You know, whimpering and praying at the same time. I don't know why. He should have ran. It's not what he did. He prayed. And I heard a thud. And another one. And another one. And one more. And then the sound of like something cracking and squishing like a big giant cockroach. But bigger and gianter and more crunchy and squishy. at the same time. Squish, crunch. I wasn't sure exactly what was going on, right? I wasn't sure. But I took this as my opportunity to get the fuck out of that room. You know, I jumped up. The last of what was left in that bucket threw on the ground behind me as I ran out the door. Hauling ass, right? I hear Mr. Clippity Clump, Mr. Methodical Steps, or Mrs., start those steps, which, oh God, those in themselves were scary enough because, you know, you would hear him, then you wouldn't hear him, and then all of a sudden you would hear him, and by the time you heard him again, he was close to you, or she was close to you, right? It was close to you, very close. But what I did hear and made me laugh was him stomp down on the slippery guts that I threw on the floor. I heard boom. I laughed to myself because I didn't want to laugh out loud as I continued to run. This time I decided I'll head down because he's up. So down probably would mean if I get back to the first floor, I could probably find my way out, right? Yeah, that's what I'll do. So I ran to the stairwell. Downstairs I went. Till I got, to the front door. I noticed there were chains on the door, right? But they were glass doors. So I figured I'll find something to break out the glass and I'll be free of this place, right? So, you know, here I am looking for something, anything, trash can, phone, anything that's kind of heavy enough to throw at these glass doors so I can shatter them. Found a wheelchair. I said, this is as good as anything, right? Fuck it. You know, folded it up so that it was easier for me to swing. I'm spinning around like I'm about to throw one of those shock put ball things, except I'm not holding, you know, the wheelchair like this. Got it with 2 hands. Wham! Throw it up against the window. Smash! Shatters it. Breaks. Climbing through it. Looking behind me as I do. And that's when I hear... I'm like, damn, how the fuck does it know where I am all the damn time? Well, shit. I did just bash out a fucking window with this wheelchair. That's probably how it knows. And, you know, I don't let that stop me from running my ass off. Outside. Hauling ass. It's like a long walkway surrounded by tall bushes and shit. At the end of this long walkway, I can see what looks like a gate. A little iron gate, you know, pillar things, and open up. Run to it. Start shaking it, trying to turn the knob, but it's locked. Apparently, from the outside, which I don't understand. You know, it was weird. Convenient for him, not so convenient for me. I look back, and of course, there it is, coming ever so slowly towards me. And I'm thinking to myself, at least this thing doesn't run, you know, because I'd really be shit out of luck. Then I realized something. It's a maze that I'm in now. It's like a hedge maze. So I run into it, you know. It's like one of those mazes that you've seen in that movie by Stephen King, you know. The Shining? Yeah, like that. Except it wasn't cold outside at all. You know, it was actually kind of nice. It was dark, though. Light from the moon shone brightly on the ground. Shadows casted, looked scary as hell. You know, it was like, oh. I kept thinking I was seeing shit. I wasn't seeing anything, but I could hear those fucking footsteps. Always behind me. You know? So I kept running. This way, that way, left and right, then left and left and left, then right and right, left, right, left, right, left, then to the right, then straight, left, right, left, and then I came to this clearing, you know. It's like a little circle, and it had 4 different ways you could go. I'm confused at this point. I just want to get the fuck out of here. I just want to leave, you know. I don't want to die. I already seen 3 people die. Well, I saw 2 people die. Third one, I heard him die. I'm thinking, am I the only one left? Because if I'm the only one left, my chances of survival are probably not very good. You know what I'm saying? I don't know where I am, how to get out of where I'm at. And this thing obviously wants to kill us. Well, has killed some of us, but I'm sure it wants to kill me. So I decide to take the path to the left this time. Go left. Come to like a little shack in the middle of this maze. I'm wondering, why is there a shack here? There shouldn't be a shack here, but there was a shack there. So I went in the shack, you know, found 2 more people. They were mad that I came in there because they knew I had been running, which means I was running from something. So, you know, the chick's like, hey, you asshole, why did you come in here? I'm like, because I needed shelter. There's a fucking maniac out there trying to kill me. He just killed like 3 fucking people that I saw him kill 2. I heard him kill, I'm gonna assume he killed him because he killed the other 2 people, but yeah, he probably killed the other person too. There's 3 people, you know what I'm saying? Shit, what the fuck is going on? Where are we? She explains this whole backstory. I'm not gonna get into it right now, and I'm just sitting there looking at her, dumbfounded, like, how the fuck did all of this happen in the course of like 10 minutes? This is ridiculous. Now the guy that's with her can't talk, right? You know, he's a mute, so he can't say anything. He's like doing sign language and shit that I don't understand. I'm just looking at him like this, so he shows me a sign that I do understand, which is he gave me the finger. What's up with your friend? I don't know. He's not too happy about you being in here. We're gonna have to ask you to fucking get the fuck out. We've been hiding here for hours, and he hasn't found us. But you know what? With you coming in here, I fear that the longer you stay, the worse our chances get. So could you please leave? That's really fucked up, miss. That's really fucked up. You know? I want to survive just like you. I mean, how long do you plan on hiding here and shit? Like, you said you've been here for hours. So, like, what is your plan? What's your course of action? Just hide? I mean, eventually he's gonna find this place anyway, whether I'm here or not. And then he's going to kill you like he killed everyone else. She stood up from her hunched over position to say something. I don't know what it was. She didn't get a chance to. Immediately a hand burst through the wall, grabbed her by the back of the head, dragged her to the hole that it had created. Her head hits the wall. She's reaching for me. I'm looking at her like, fuck you. Turn around. I go to run. That's when the mute dude trips me. I fall out the door down the little steps of the shack and shit. Roll over. I turn back just in time to see whoever, well, you know, the maniac, pull her head through this hole that was too small for her head to go through. It like shredded skin and fucking little pieces of meat off of her as it went in. Then you just see her flailing about, flailing about, like, you know, head through the hole. Arms are wiggling around, she's kicking and shit. Then all of a sudden, her body drops to the floor. And then her head peeks through the hole. You know, he was holding it and peeked through the hole. And I hear those fucking footsteps again. Now, the mute guy, he's signing something fucking furious at this point. Which, like I said, I don't understand. I don't understand sign language. So I get up, right? Start running away from the door back the way I came. I see him get up and he starts following me and shit. I'm like, oh, now you want to fucking follow somebody and shit. You see what happened to your fucking friend. I'm assuming he probably blamed me for what happened because I felt a rock hit me in the back of the head. Tripped and fell. rolled on the ground, he runs past me, right? Not before he spits at me as he goes. Hey, mute, rude bastard. Fucking dick. Of course, I still hear those footsteps. You know, they're coming towards me. But I don't see anything, because it's really dark. Right now, the moon's behind a cloud, so it's not shining brightly on the ground. Yeah. It's at this time that I get up. I start running. Screaming my head off now. You know, what's the point in not screaming? He knows where I am. He can see me. I'm pretty sure he can. This fucking thing seems to be able to find us no matter where we go, which made me wonder, how did he not find the two people that were in the shed? Did they have something to do with it? Maybe? No, they didn't at all, obviously, because he killed one of them and probably was about to kill the other one if he didn't run out. So, you know, I'm running, looking for everything, screaming my head off. Right. I run into a wall. Smack dab into it. Knocked myself clean out. Woke up. Sitting on the couch. My son's laughing their asses off. Laughing their asses off. I'm like, what the fuck is so fucking funny? Dad, you were having a crazy ass dream. You know, screaming and yelling and shit. Fucking swinging your arms around, making funny faces, talking about, oh my god, her head. I said, you guys don't know. You guys don't know what just happened. And it wasn't a dream, it was real. I pinched myself. In the dream, I pinched myself and I felt it. So it had to be real. It couldn't have been a dream, right? No, it wasn't no dream. They said, what happened? I told them, you know, the whole story about what I just told you guys that happened and stuff. And they're like, yeah, that sounds like the fucking game that we're playing, except a little more detailed. Actually, that sounds kind of like a cool game. Wish we could play that. And I was like, no, you don't wish you could play that. Shit was fucking terrible. I didn't like it at all. It's horrible. Anyway, make a long story short, you know, come to find out, at least so I thought, it was just a dream. You know what I'm saying? So I just went on about my evening, doing what I normally do, made dinner, shit like that. Walked to the store to get something to drink. As I was walking home, I heard turned around. And what I saw behind me shook me to my core. It was that fucking maniac. In his hands was a head. But scarier than the fact that it was a maniac holding a head, the head he was holding was my head. I mean, if you saw somebody who you thought was in your dream murdering people standing before you with your head, you would probably freak out, which is exactly what the fuck I did. I freaked the fuck out. Ran. Home. Shut the door. Got my machete. Not that I thought it was going to do much, but I got it anyway. You know, I don't own any guns. So, you know. Started thinking, you know, maybe I could do like, you know, Kevin did, Home Alone, like set up a whole bunch of little booby traps and shit just in case this thing tries to come in. And so I start doing that, you know, pouring things here, there, cans filled with hot stuff or screwdriver screws and bits and nails and things, you know, just all types of crazy stuff to stop fucking beast thing coming to get me. Kids looking at me like I'm crazy. And I felt crazy. I felt crazy. I felt absolutely bonkers. I was like, you guys didn't see what I just saw. You didn't see what I saw. I saw something that if you saw, you would feel like I feel right now, which is very scared and confused. confused and scared. I saw my head in somebody's hands. The same somebody that was killing people in this thing that I thought was a dream, but can't be if it's here. What the hell happened? You're sick, Dad. You must have eaten something bad. It's fucking with you. That's what it is, Dad. I said, yeah, you're right. There's nobody out there. Just overactive imagination. Overactive, not overactive imagination. So, I had some hot milk, honey in it, a little spicy. Because that usually calms my nerves. Gives me the guts, but it calms my nerves, nonetheless. And then I went to sleep. Had a crazy dream. And the dream, nothing happened. And that was what was crazy about it, because you would figure after all the shit that I just went through, I would have a dream about what was going on. But no, I didn't have a dream about that at all. I didn't dream anything. I just had a dream about, like, seashores and beaches and tropical water and stuff. And woke up, went downstairs, and opened the front door. Checked the mail. I was expecting some packages of hot sauce to arrive that day. See the mailman coming down the street. Brings a box, puts it on the porch. Thank you, sir. Have a nice day. Thank you. Bring the box in the house. I mean, I'm just assuming it's my hot sauce, that I ordered. I open the box. It's filled with, those little popcorn things. Those popcorn styrofoam. Yeah, a lot of that. I'm moving it outside. Typical shit that you would find for, glass bottle of hot sauce to be packed in. But the box was kind of big. I'm feeling around in there. I feel something kind of soft. I'm like, what the fuck is this? It's not hot sauce. Hot sauce isn't supposed to be soft. Maybe they wrapped it in some new kind of soft material. So, I'm start moving the popcorn away, right? Reach in. And I pull out my head. My fucking head was in this box. Fucking head in the box. Fuck shit. It's craziness. And that's when I heard. Yeah. So I locked myself down here. Yep. And I'm staying here until I don't hear footsteps anymore. You're probably like, well, what about your kids and your wife and stuff? Oh, shit. They didn't believe me, so what fucking difference does it make? They're probably fine. Or not. But I don't know. I didn't hear any screams or cries of help. We're dying, So I'm going to assume they're alive. But if they're not, I'm sorry. I have to take care of myself first. So if anybody can, come out here, maybe see if this thing is still around. Greatly appreciate it, because it's getting kind of cold in here and I'm hungry. I want something to eat. There's, my haste to lock myself in here, I forgot to bring food with me. So, yeah, there's that. Thank you for, listening to my stupid story. It's probably dumber than most. Didn't really have anything to go on today. Like I said, just woke up from napping and shit. So I apologize and then for having such a not so good story to tell you today. Tomorrow I'll make up for it. I promise. I'll make up for it. Tomorrow's story will be much better. I'll have a topic. I'll think of one tonight. As long as that, maniac hasn't murdered my whole family and is waiting for me to come out to smash my head. Although I'm kind of wondering, how did he get my head if my head is still on my shoulders? I'm perplexed by that, right? I'm perplexed by that. I guess I'll have to figure that out another time. Yeah. Yeah. I'll figure that out.